Hello, this is the second video in the series, which is get rid of the ums and the ahs. So when I speak, I like to say and ah a lot. And I think it comes from the fact that there's a lot of gaps in between the words I say. When I speak, there's a lot of gaps in between the words that I say. And I usually do the ums and the ahs so that people can realize that I'm still thinking, so that they don't think that I'm done speaking and then start speaking. So that's the reason why I keep doing the ums and the ahs. And my goal is to reduce that so that I can become a better speaker and influence more people. So here is the subject for this video. I wanted to build a website. I wanted to build a website that see? I wanted to build a website that allows you to plan your running route for those of you who like to run. I don't have a name for the website yet. I don't remember if I had a name for it that I was using. This is a pretty old idea. I've had this idea for a few years now. So I have studied artificial intelligence courses on Udemy, and I actually passed an artificial intelligence course on Udacity a few months ago, which was the Machine Learning Foundations course for AWS. So I have a background in artificial intelligence. My goal is to build a website that allows you to plan your running route. So it's AI driven. The routes that you choose are crowdsourced in a way. You create a route, and then you can either create your own route. You can either create your own route using a drag and drop map of your neighborhood. In this case, it would be Rogers Park because I want to start small. I don't think I can do the entire country like Google yet. I just did it again. So I don't think I can do the entire country like Google yet. I want to start small, start with just my neighborhood, which is Rogers Park in Chicago, and I want to build a website that allows you to plan your running route. So you can choose from pre-built, pre-made running routes. Some of them are AI generated, and some of the running routes have been created by other members of the website. People are allowed to vote for their favorites, and people are allowed to vote for not just their favorites, but there are different metrics that there are different metrics or badges that each running route will have. Some running routes will have the scenic route. So some running routes will have the scenic route badge. Some running routes will have the shortest distance badge. Some running routes will have most difficult, least difficult, view of the lake, because I'm right next to Lake Michigan. View of the lake, and some of them will have hilly because there's a lot of hills in Rogers Park. Some of them will have construction, so that'll be an important one, because if your part of Rogers Park is always under construction, there's always a construction crew blocking off the street, then it's going to be a lot harder to get your run in. So pretty much everything that is required for the website, I already know how to program. I can program the interface, I can program the menus, I can program even, I can use it, a third party software for the membership area. The thing I was having a problem with was approximating distances. So it's hard for me to approximate. I'm really bad at telling distances. Like if I go for a run around the block, I can't tell if when I used to go on a run, I would run from here to from Farwell to Albion. I would run from Farwell to Albion, and I used to think that was a mile, but then I actually did some online research. That's that's 4/10 of a mile. That's 4/10 of a mile. That's almost half a mile. So if I want to go to a full mile, I have to go all the way past Devon Avenue. I have to go all the way to Hollywood Avenue to reach a full mile. I didn't know that. So at first I thought a full mile was Albion, and then when I found out it was just a fourth of a mile, then I thought a full mile was Devon. But apparently it's not. You have to go all the way to Hollywood to not Hollywood, California, obviously, but Hollywood Boulevard, Clark and Hollywood in Chicago, to reach 1 mile. So at first I was like, I'm gonna have to develop some extremely super sophisticated mathematical structure which would allow me to calculate distances on the fly, which means that as you create your brand new your running course, or you allow the AI to create a running course for you, at the same time it is able to calculate the distance of that run. There's going to be two types of courses primarily. Two types of courses primarily. There's going to be a linear course and there's going to be a circuit course. So a linear course is you're running in one direction, or maybe diagonally. You're running from point A to point B. You might make some turns. You obviously can't go into a straight line to get there because there's buildings in the way and there's streets in the way. So you're running from one point to the next, and that's the end of the race course. So and the second type is circuit, whereas you're running to the end and then you come around and then you come back to the starting point. The issue was that with my website, I wanted to have that the website is able to dynamically calculate the distance of that run. But the problem was I didn't know how to calculate that, and I thought I was going to have to do some crazy calculus, crazy math, crazy everything that I'm not that accomplished in. I can't really triangulate distances very well. I've never been very good at that. So the thing that I found out is that we live in the 21st century, apparently. Yeah. We live in the 21st century, apparently. So we've got GPS, we've got fitness trackers that can track your distance run. So if I want to track the distance of the run, all I have to do is I have to, see, I almost did it, but I didn't. If I want to track the distance run, all I have to do is buy a high quality fitness tracker, and I'm going to have to walk a certain distance or run a certain distance, and I'm going to have to check the distance on the fitness tracker to see what the distance is that I just traveled, and then I can program that into the computer as sort of like a legend. You know, in maps they have the legend. I just said, in maps they have a legend that allows you to approximate distances based on the length of the line. So they say this line represents 1 mile, and you stack enough of those lines together and you can measure all the way to where you're going. Almost did it again. You can use that distance that you measure using the fitness tracker, or at least I can use the distance that I measure on the fitness tracker to approximate all the distances. I don't know if, because there's a lot of hilly regions. If you're heading, I believe is it that way, or yeah, I believe if you're heading west towards Ridge Avenue, there's a lot of hilly sections. So I was wondering, I don't know this for sure, I was wondering if a hilly section is going to be less distance traveled according to maps. So I was wondering if a hilly section would be less distance traveled because a lot of that distance is vertical, or would it be less distance? Would it be more distance traveled because you are technically traveling further distance than it looks like when you're looking at it from directly from above. But if it's GPS, if it's global GPS, it's probably not going to measure the distance of an incline. It probably can't measure the distance between an incline and a flat surface. So that was a big problem that I had to fix, and now that I've fixed that problem, I can move forward with the project. I don't know when I'm going to finish. I haven't even started the programming aspect of it yet, but I think that it will work out in the end. So thank you very much for watching this video. I've got 12 minutes and about 40 seconds, and I'm going to keep it at that. Okay.